What's up guys, we're back and today we have some engineer gameplay in Walatiki Temple. Obviously because of the non-disclosure agreement, we cannot stream anything above level 15. I just want to give a big shout out to Wildstar ESP Espanol, who decided that it would be cool if we use this footage to commentate on an analysis. That's not a real word, but I just made it up anyway. Yeah, just huge shout out to those guys, and a big shout out to the guys at Wildstar Arkship, who created an amazing website that lets you already build builds and use all the different things you can use in a limited action set without having to actually be in the fucking game, which is awesome because we get to show as much as we can. Okay, let's just get straight into his build. Okay guys, so we're gonna get straight into this guy's build here. Number one on his bar, he's got Pulse Blast. Pulse Blast is basically the bread and butter engineer skill. Freeform, mobily casted, generates 20 fertility by doing X physical damage. Foes down the middle of the blast take more damage. That's an important note. It's just generally gonna be used to buff up your fertility as you go. Electrocute is on the second bar, deals X technological damage every 0.5 seconds to foes, and the technology damage and how long it ticks for is based on how much volatility you have, so it's basically a dot, and technology damage is important when you mix it up. His one and only CC skill, Zap, deals X physical damage and applies a stun to the foe, destroys one interrupt ADA. The stun lasts for about 2.5 seconds basically, but with freeform targeting and breakout gameplay, you can just spam the F key and they may get out faster. It's still very useful to have. 25 meters range again, looks like these are all 25 meters range. Number 4, Quick Burst, deal X technology damage, again mixing it up to landing after a critical hit is the only time you can use that. Sorry, I stumbled over that a little bit. But basically this is your RNG burst skill. If you've ever played a fire mage in World of Warcraft, you are going to love this skill because it's just generally made to explode your face. And the 5th skill on his bar, I'm afraid I have to be honest here, I have no idea what it does. The game's still in beta and Wildstar Arkship is still in beta as well, so it hasn't really recognized what the skill is, and I don't know either. But anyway, let's get into the game.
The battle has started.
As he just said, the battle has begun. So, basically, the basics of Walatiki Temple is that a Moody Mask spawns in the center, and the Moody Mask is basically the flag. Wow, that was an inappropriate misnomer. So, the Moody Mask is basically the flag. It being picked up, as you can see there, by either side. The Dominion are first on the flag here. They want to try and take it to their base, but it can be stolen out of their base to gain points. So, everyone's kind of jumped straight into the center of the map, and as you can see, the engineer is tanky as balls. So he wants to just get right up in the fray. He's whipping out the Pulse Blast and building up that fertility. And then he's going to use breakout gameplay to try and get out of the stun here, even though he was locked down for a while. He's using the extra volatility, he has to use Electrocute and try and burn down the enemy with the Moody Mask right there, the little fucking chewer, who's going to get ripped to shreds. He's trying to land that central, but he's taking so many telegraphs to the face that he just gets shredded down. What happened there mainly was that his team just got outflanked and outplayed. They jumped into a situation they couldn't get out of because they were surrounded on all sides by the Dominion, and they really wrecked them to shreds after the mask, which is really good play on the Dominion's part because they're protecting their mask carrier. Unfortunately, they do have one person on AFK. Booyah, the Exiles take over the Moody Mask. That means they can bring it back to their base. Spawning an artillery bot, everyone loves artillery bots, with its double dash charges. Now, I will say that the engineer, while he is very tanky, he can do more to try and get out. This warrior here, he's gonna be a pain in the ass. This is a great job by the warrior here, just being persistent and a giant harassment tool. He takes a very long time to go down because he's a warrior. You know, he's incredibly strong, incredibly tanky, and incredibly high CC. He's dodging, he's ducking around, and the engineer here doesn't have the most amazing aim, but I will say that the Pulse Blasts are pretty good. But as you can see, the basic combo coming out for the engineer is just the Pulse Blast into the Electrocute, and then try and zap them down and try and wreck them from there. But this engineer is definitely based around doing hardcore DPS and a lot more damage. As you can see, the little orange stalker trying to sneak around there. Running into this situation, in my opinion, is a terrible idea, and I think he's realized that and he's trying to back the fuck out. Because remember that you only have 25 range max on this engineer right now. You have to kind of get right up in their face. Stalker jumps on 3 of them at once. Terrible idea on his part. He's really stupid. Just pumping out those Pulse Blasts right into his face. They want to try and combine the damage from the 2 engineers there and get that enemy stalking down. Who, to be honest, he picked a target very poorly. I'm not gonna lie. Breakout gameplay here not being used. Probably, I think that's just a beta bug. But the Stalker chose a very poor target. Now, the Spellslinger has a good position, and he has the Moody Mask. So, realistically, he shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be engaging in a 1v1 in a 25-meter range with an Engineer and a Stalker. This guy has a really poor aspect of positioning here, but as you can see, the engineer is doing the very basic combo blast of just hitting up the pulse blast, hitting them central as much as possible, and then using that extra volatility and burning them down with electrocute, which, you know, works very well and it's very efficient and it saves your CC for situations when you can seriously need it, but at the same time, it will take a while to let them down. Now here, it's a good decision, but also a terrible one. He picks up the Moonmask right off the bat, which, you know, is good. It takes it for his team. It means he can ship it to his teammates and they can get it at the end. However, he jumped right into about 6 Dominion enemies there, and that was a huge error. You know, you do want to get that Moonmask at all costs, that's fine, but you want to start CCing them down as fast as possible. And as a result, he just got torn to pieces by it. Now, as you can clearly see, the respawn timers get higher and higher as the game progresses. So, as soon as you start dying quite recently into the game, yeah, you go down for about 10-15 seconds. But once it gets to 30 seconds to a minute, you know, that's enough time for a mask to get captured really quickly and really efficiently, especially if you've got some high CC warriors in there, which the Dominion time definitely do. Dominion time? Excuse me, that doesn't make sense, but it gave me a great idea for a show. Dominion time! Sorry, distractions everywhere. Okay, so he picks up a respawn. Obviously, the Dominion pick up the Moonmask because they got the good position out of that. Yes, he pulled it slightly closer to the Exile part, but they had 5 guys swamped on that shit instantly. And he should have been more aware. He should have just sprinted as fast as he could away from the situation. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if you can sprint with a Moonmask. Here he's going to chase a kill that's pretty much already secured. This is a reprimandable decision in my opinion, and kind of useless, but he is dropping the Pulse Blast. He is going to pick it up. Just that extra XP, extra gold, but it looks like the Exiles are definitely on the push here. The Dominion are getting zoned away from the Moonmask quite sufficiently. Having said that, they just took it. Yeah, so you may notice that the game kind of works in cycles here. This match is working definitely in cycles where it seems to me that a lot of the Exiles die and get wiped out at the same time, and then the Dominion come in, push forward with the Moonmask. And this is a really great, efficient tactic, and it's really good. It's semi-Zerg rush-ish. I wouldn't call it a complete Zerg rush, but it is a good tactic to use. If you can get everyone to cycle through their respawn timers in the proper way, then you can do one really strong forceful push. You can pick up that Moonmask and you push it all the way to the enemy. This does leave you exposed to your flag getting taken away, and we have seen the Exile Dominion, excuse me, the Exile flag has been taken away once, so they're down to 1. It was 2-2, but now it's 1-3. Unfortunately for the Exiles, this looks really bad. Good job, recovered by the Exiles. Just as I say that, I get contradicted by the game, goddammit. Anyway, so the Exiles here, the engineer we're watching here, he's gonna respawn, he's gonna push forward, and obviously, to be honest, I question his decision in positioning. He is an engineer, yes, but he is also a DPS engineer. He hasn't popped his innate so far, which is also questionable because it's only a 2-minute cooldown. Now, while that is big, if the situation calls for it, you should definitely use it. A lot of this game is knowing when to pop your innate and when to not to. Obviously, I think this is going to be a point for the Exiles here. They have a good position. They've surrounded the guy. I'm expecting a couple of Dominion warriors to come and start trying to intercept the Moonmask carrier, but I could be wrong because... There you go. Because, to be honest, the big pit below the Moonmask spawn point is not the best place to rush. As bad as it sounds, instinctively people go there. This is a bad situation he's getting himself into. He's completely outflanked. He's too far. And yeah, he's just going to go down here. I'm not really sure his decision making in this situation was good or not. I really think it was terrible. I don't know why he jumped into a situation where he just flat out could not win, but... You know, I mean, this is below level 15. I'm sorry this is all I can show you. I would love to show you some max level shit, but there is literally no one in the world who is max level in this game so far. It takes roughly 200 hours to get to the max level, so... You know, I'm not surprised there isn't that. But that was a huge mistake on the engineer's part. He pushed up without his team. You know, things like, if you're a League of Legends player, you know a lot of this stuff. But if you're not, I'll go over the basics for you. Zoning's when you push the enemy back, right? But you can overextend. If you are leaving yourself alone without your teammates, you will die. Dominion wins the game. There you go. It's mainly, I would say, because the Dominion just had the proper cycles. They had the proper respawn times, and they forcefully pushed the flag. They forcefully pushed it up and just took it all the way, and they could not do anything. But I hope you enjoyed. Let's get right into Game 2.
The battle has started.
Hey guys, we're back for game 2 here. As you can see, there has been a slight alteration in his build. His number 5 skill has changed, but again, I have no idea what it is because, hey, close bait is fun and doesn't reveal everything. So straight off the bat, he's sprinting straight into a Dominion warrior who made the terrible decision of running straight to an engineer and focusing him down while an orange stalker rips him to shreds. Doing that basic combination of pulse blast into electrocute, pulse blast to electrocute, that's really what you want to be doing. You want to be building up that volatility and then burning them down with that dot you get from electrocute. Obviously, he's burnt his CC already, and his tank bot is doing some hardcore work there. I'm pretty sure on his number 5 skill is the tank bot. He's been knocked over by the warrior, who seems to be pretty prominent right now. He's doing a good job. I don't think the stalker's DPS is high enough to bring him down, but there you go. Boom, ripped to shreds. That's pretty much the first blood of the game here. He popped his innate a little late there, and I would say a little unnecessarily, and he starts blasting over the wall, but I don't think he can reach, to be honest, so it's a little of a reprimandable decision there, but nonetheless. Now, this is a risky move here. He's got a warrior running straight to him. Obviously, his shields are just coming back up. He's building up that volatility, but if he gets caught out of position here, then he is done for. There is no way he's getting out of that. It looks like it's a pretty even game right now. No one's picked up the Moody Mask yet, so, you know, it's hard to tell what's happening. Everyone seems to have jumped straight down into the pit, but right now he's being backed up by a medic, and a medic is a great guy to have your back. He's so useful for healing and DPSing them down that your survivability is just increased exponentially. Obviously, this stalker is wildly out of position. He's getting wrecked to shreds by everyone, and I don't understand why he didn't take the decision to run away, but nonetheless, anyway. And then again, this engineer, you know, he was getting backed up by a stalker here, and now he has no choice. He's just screwed. I don't understand why so few people run. But that was a nice stun. That was a very clutch stun. Sorry, I got sidetracked. It was a very clutch stun by that engineer there, but obviously it's been reciprocated, so now the spell singer is out of position. Let's see what this stalker does, because... Stalker? Excuse me. Anyway, engineers picked up the mask here, getting healed by an Esper healer there. But he's getting jumped on. Unfortunately, he's only getting jumped on by an engineer. In these low levels, engineers pretty much only have zap. If that warrior comes along, if that warrior starts arm cannon, using his arm cannon to pull him or block him, then he's not going to make it out alive. He's pretty swamped here. He's got no backup from his team other than that Esper healer who got shredded in seconds. And he drops a mask, which is really unfortunate. But obviously, I said last time about the cycling, about how you should try and keep your respawn times together and stick together, and when everyone's on full health, you are infinitely stronger. You have to understand that. The stronger you are is depending on how close you are together. Obviously, his team were there to pick up the mask, and now look, you know, the Dominion had to cycle back. They've all died, they're all on low health, and now you've got freaking 5 exiles all over that Moody Mask. No one is getting near that thing. Let that be clear. They're grouped together, the Dominion had to cycle out, and they dropped the mask outside of their cycle. That's pretty much how this is gonna go for every game you ever play at Walatiki Temple. Don't know what this engineer is doing. This warrior is doing, I'm afraid. He's pretty wildly out of position. He's getting backed up by second warrior. You have to wonder where the rest of the exiles here in this position, because they don't seem to be helping him, but this guy needs to start using his dash away. He popped his innate, which is cool, and now here the backup comes. Perfect. See, these two warriors, you know, warriors are strong, but they've gone too deep. They're literally right outside the capture zone. The exiles have just captured the flag. That is not the time you're going to be able to run in and take it. That is not the right opportunity. Obviously, good combinations here between Pulse Blast and Electrocute. He's building up that really strong volatility and burning them down again. And he's doing well. You know, the Exiles, they feel a lot more strong this game. Their cycles are a lot more efficient. I don't know why that guy thought he could just run past them, but apparently that's a real thing. He's taking the good decision to run the fuck out so he can get away from this bad situation he's got himself in. I have no idea why he popped his innate, because it slows you down. And if you're running away, hint, you don't want to be slow. But I'm pretty sure this is a tank engineer, and Pulse Blast is out of range. So, in my opinion, the engineer here, the Mortis, should have dashed forward a couple of times, got that Pulse Blast off, got that zap down more efficiently, and just started burning him through. I don't think he would have killed him 1v1, and in any way, he would have gotten back to Dominion backup. So unless he has help from his friends, he's not going to get it down. He sees a target over there. This guy's chasing a little too many kills. He needs to be turning around, and yeah, there you go. Focusing on the warrior, dicking around on his friendly Moody Mask there. He needs to pick that Moody Mask up, and needs to make sure that warrior does not get it. If that warrior gets the Moody Mask, then the Dominion will run away from it. They will lose ground, and you never want to lose ground. If you lose too much ground during your strong cycle, well then you're just not going to be able to get it back if the Dominion responds properly. So, you know, debatable decisions there. But this warrior, you know, he seems to be going down incredibly slowly. I'm sorry I'm saying, you know, too much. But again, he's out of position. Where is his team? He should look around and say, oh my god, no one's with me. I should, yep, back the fuck out. And like he's doing that. Of course they can chase him, and they're going to be able to chase him pretty well. But he's gone full circle, which is slightly strange in my opinion. He should try and back himself up and surround yourself and friends. How many times do I have to tell you guys before you realize that that is how you win games? You must surround yourself with your teammates. You must stick together. Like this engineer here, he is going to be engaged in a pretty strong fight, but the spell slinger, there's no one gonna help him, right? There's an Esper, okay? The Esper is relatively strong. The Esper's doing a lot of damage, but this is low levels. The Esper is dominant by a huge amount. And the spell slinger, you know, he didn't need to lose that much health. If people do that repeatedly, your cycles will be broken and you will never capture that flag. Engineers obviously, Exile's obviously in the lead here, but see, this shoe has been backtracked, and now the engineer is by far out of position. This is a terrible decision here. He needs to run back. He needs to haul ass back to his friendlies. He's on half health. He's too far pushed out. He's getting out pressured, and it's not going to go well. And now he's being sectioned away from the rest of his team because he overextended. I don't know why that guy's running away, to be honest. I reckon he could turn and fight quite easily, and he'd get back up from his team, but see, again, the engineer here, he's overextending, and he hasn't been punished for it, which is what is curious to me, is that this guy has not been punished for his giant overextension. Obviously, these guys, most of them are level 14, because that is pretty much the level cap, and that is the strongest level you're going to be, because the bracket goes from 6 to 14. Yeah, there you go. Massive overextension, and you're gonna die. You can't engage in an engineer and a stalker like that. You can't push so far into the enemy team without the intention. Oh, look, he's going for the flag, okay? Interesting decision. He shouldn't have worked himself into that situation where he has no choice but to go for the Moody Mask. However, he has done the right thing in this situation. He's probably gonna die here, that's true. But he has temporarily given a moral boon, if you will, to the rest of his team. They've seen that a Moody Mask has been taken, and they're gonna flock to his side, like this warrior's been doing, and that's good collaboration there. And his mistake ultimately will cost him his life, because overextending almost always does. And that mask is going to be reset, and no major advantage is going to be had. However, that's not to say it wasn't a particularly good move. While he got himself into a bad situation, he handled this situation quite well. Now, next time, I hope he'll realize that he shouldn't be pushing so far without the assistance of his team. He should be cycling properly. Obviously, here he's adjusting his limited action set. He's picking up that artillery bot. He needs that extra tankiness because he did gain a level just now, which picks up his extra skill. That number 5 skill was his tanking bot, and the number 6 skill is his artillery bot. I'm sorry I'm so far behind on that, but you know how things work. Anyway, so we've botted up. No teammates to be had. They're already pushed out there on the Dominion side. He's outside of the strong exile cycle, but most of them are on a good health, so, you know, it's not too late to group up and push. And Moody Master's just spawned. Everyone's almost full health. They're losing their shields. That's okay. Shields regenerate quickly. Always remember that. You can lose your shields. Once you start losing health, that's when things are turning a little sour, and you should be thinking, hey, am I out of position? Am I going to win this fight? Can I win this fight? Is this fight even worth fighting? These are all positions you need to think about, but anyway, he's jumping right into the fray here. This can either go two ways here. This can end up in the exiles recapturing all of the Moody Mask from the Dominion. This is a very clutch position to be in if it goes well. If it goes poorly, then you've lost your entire cycle, like they're doing. They've taken one Moody Mask, that's good, but they have 4 downed teammates out of their 9, I'm sorry. They have 4 downed teammates, and they're not going to pick up this Moody Mask, which means they're going to be in a bad position. Like I said, that position can go one of 2 ways. You can push all the way to their base, pick up their Moody Mask, and run back with them, and you will have a huge advantage game. That can turn games, and that will turn games. Obviously, this game's pretty much won, but that was a big mistake, and that big mistake can, again, lead to turn games. Like I said, that was a clutch position, and to be honest, they lost it. However, fortunately for them, the retaliation for the Dominions was, you know, I wouldn't say subpar, but it wasn't as strong as they need to be. Obviously, the very strong reactions will only come from teams that are organized and work as a team. I cannot stress this enough. It's a battleground, yes, but it's not a death match. That was a nice gate, by the way. That confused the fuck out of me. Anyway, they're going for the Moody Mask here. They're going to lose a Moody Mask, but this warrior's alone, so they'll lose it for the next maybe 5 seconds unless he gets back up. You have to remember that. It's not worth taking a Moody Mask and then just dying. So, yeah, game over. There you go. Again, overextension is the most common thing that loses or wins games here. And you shouldn't just plain out rush for the Moody Mask because you think it will win. Anyway, let's get into game 3 here. Hey guys, welcome back. So, the battle has begun here. Obviously, he's using the same build as last time. He's going to be using that very basic, very bread and butter pulse into electrocute to build up his volatility and then burn them down with the single zap that he has under 15 levels. Anyway, so obviously jumps right in there. The minions already picked up the mask, but the exiles are on the offensive here. He's grouped together with Spellslinger, which is a healthy advantage to have. He's got Sun out, but he didn't break out gameplay very quickly at all, to be honest, which is kind of questionable. I don't know if it's just laggy or what the deal is there, but he pops as an 8. You know, good decision. Previously I haven't seen him pop as an 8 before, but you know, this is a good push already. This is looking good for the exiles. They've pushed right up to the minions. They've grouped together and then just burning through. The Dominion have no way of getting this mask back to their base now. It's going to be taken away by the Dominions, no questions asked. Obviously, they're going to be cycling in the next 5 or 6 seconds, which means there may not be time to get the mask all the way back before they come back. But it is a good start, a very strong start. They banded together, they pushed right down, and although the Dominion rushed the mask as soon as possible, that doesn't mean they get to get it. Like, that doesn't mean they can keep it. There is no outrunning when it comes to masks. There is only outgunning and outnumbering. I should mention that the exiles do outnumber the enemies, because I don't think the enemies have a full team, but anyway, using that Pulse Blast, using that Electrocute, he's kiting backwards. He is backpedaling, but you have no other option, and he kind of just got sliced a bit there. Anyway, 30-second respawn time. They're going to have to recycle through, but it looks like most of his team are all alive, which is, you know, a strong thing to have. Unfortunately, he's not going to be part of the push. If the rest of their team die now, then they're going to be in a bad situation. Yep, look, they're dropping down, He's going to respawn while half his team is dead. He's going to either have to wait for the rest of his team to get back up and then push as one, or he's just going to overextend and die, which is not something we want to see. Anyway, respawn his Bruiser bot, respawn his Artillery bot, rolls out. Let's see what he does here. A Moody Mask has just spawned. Most of the team have just respawned. Again, they're on a good cycle here. Look on the minimap in the top right, you know? They are pretty banded together. He's got 5 or 6 friendlies ahead of him, and it's looking to be a big engagement in the middle. This would be a good time to get your innate really ready. It's up in the next 5 seconds, so it could be blasted really easily. And there you go. The exiles have picked up a mask. He fell off the side of the bridge. Huge mistake. He's disconnected from his entire team here. He's in a bad situation. They have the Moody Mask. There you go. He's getting sniped out by a Spellslinger already. And getting fucked over by a Stalker. You have to remember that in the most intense situations, micro can be just vitally important. Mistakes like that can lose you your life a lot. And he just caught himself out of position by doing something as simple as falling off. And at the same time, he shouldn't have been backpedaling to try and get damage. There is no way he was going to take out that Stalker and that Spellslinger. What he should have been doing is just flat out running, using his sprint charges, using his dash charges, getting away from the situation. Mobility is essential in so many instances. I cannot express that enough, but anyway, he's back in the game. His team cycled pretty well. Looks like Naka 1 is out of position pretty badly. He's going to go down here, which is a hindrance to your team. Remember that in these small team games, 10v10, every life is important, and he should be dropping down trying to pick up that kill there and help his teammate out who's doing okay. If he can pick out this kill, then he's going to pick up a good advantage. 2 of his teammates have gone down, but that's okay. This extended engagement will win a Moody Mask for whoever wins it. This is what is happening. They're fighting objectives here, which is a good thing, and he's fighting as a team. He may go down, and he hasn't got his innate up, which sucks, but oh, that kind of sucks for him. But yeah, there you go, dashing around, dashing straight to his medic. The medic probably should have tried to heal him just a little bit, because most medics at least have some healing skills, but he jumped up wow, words, I'm sorry. He jumped up almost instantly, which is good for him. Looks like Morn is going to go down, which sucks for that guy. Respawns his bot. They have quite short cooldowns, because once they die, they go on cooldown for 30 seconds. That can be buffed down to 15 and stuff like that through amps. But they do last forever, so remember that. They last until they die. I don't think the Bruiser bot is all that essential in PvP. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't think it's particularly useful. He's rushing forward here. He's realized that he's in a bad spot. He is in a bad spot. I don't know where those telegraphs are coming from, but oh well. That's strange. I think they're coming from underneath. Anyway, it is beta. He's in a bad spot here. He's got no teammates to back him up. Look at the minimap. I want you guys to pause your eyes from the screen for a minute and look at the minimap. All his teammates are behind him and below him, but they are going to come towards him, hopefully, and try and help him out. And if they don't, this guy's going to die. You cannot go in with that mentality. You cannot let your team die. It's not about that. It's such a small engagement. Once you lose 1, maybe 2 players, you lost 20% of your fighting force. And that is an immeasurably large number. He's fighting this engagement here. It's debatable whether he'll win or not. I'm pretty disappointed in the abilities of both these players here. They don't seem to be extending much micro here, but there you go. There you go. Like, that's a great prime example of helping out your teammate. That Spellslinger was pretty fucking doomed, I'm not gonna lie. Engineers are strong. If you don't micro properly as a Spellslinger, then you're never gonna get anywhere. You need to use your CC properly, you need to get out of the way of those telegraphs because you're incredibly squishy. But the Stalker comes along, stuns him from behind and rips him to shreds because he's a teammate. That's what teammates do. And right here, look, that mask has been captured because the Engineers and the Spellslinger are burning him down. The Stalker is amazing at singling out those single targets. But when you get your teammates involved, then things get pretty interesting and pretty bad for the Stalker, who can only single out those targets. So, I don't know, it seems like it's so rudimentary and fundamental to every single PvP game, but help your teammates. They are there to help you, and if you help them, you will win games. It's simple as that, and that's what's happening. The Exiles are doing well. He rushes over to this extended engagement. His teammates are quite far behind him, and I'm not entirely sure what he wants to do here. Because, you know what, if all 5 of those guys turn on him, he will die. He's pretty out of position. And I think he realizes that. I think he noticed that. Yeah, he's running off. He's backing off here. Which was a good decision. That could have gone 2 ways. He could have pushed forward, tried to keep them away from the Mooney Mask. He would have failed. I'm going to put it right there. He would have failed. Switching up to his DPS stance there. His innate is up instantly. Which apparently can't be used by sprinting. I didn't know that. And now, good. Now, listen, he's back to his teammates. They're on a strong cycle. They're on a strong push. They are, I'm pretty sure, going to get at least 1 Mooney Mask out of this if they win this next engagement. Better like that, it is beta. There's a Spellslinger out of position hugely. I don't know why they took that decision to jump in the fray there, but it seems like no one really knows how to play their class. I'm sorry, I'm just commentating poorly. I am not commentating poorly, I'm judging people quite poorly. Spellslinger's out of position there. It seems like this would be an amazing time to use gate and gate over the wall onto the bridge, but that's just my opinion. Don't know why they continue to fight this engagement. Maybe that's why, because behind him is a fuck ton of enemies. People need to learn when to back the fuck away and recuperate. There is no shame in running from a fight, especially if you're incredibly tanky or incredibly mobile, because there is no shame in running from a fight. You need to minimize the amount of times you die. And while it is a good idea to try and help your teammates, if you're outnumbered 6-2, then you need to back away. You need to know when to back away. These are such rudimentary and just such essential things to know. And I would say that knowing how to not die and how to position yourself should be the #1 thing in your checklist when you want to win games. Knowing when to not die, knowing when to fight, knowing when not to, and knowing when to position yourself is the #1 thing. Because this guy's picked up a couple of kills, sure, but he's also died quite a few times, and the less you die, the stronger your pushes and the stronger your cycles will be, because essentially you're looking at a tug of war here. There's 1 Moody Mask that everyone is fighting over, and if you drop the Moody Mask even just outside your base, it can be rushed all the way back to theirs. You will lose serious ground. So dying is a big punishment, and it is pretty essential to not die. There's a Moody Mask here, good. Being fought over, good. Fighting an objective, it's a 2v3 in this situation here. Boom, there you go. He worked well. He worked well with the fellow Spellslinger there. He burnt down the enemies, and he pushed a Moody Mask. That's a good advantage. Now what he should be doing is regrouping with the rest of his team. He should not fight this next engagement. He shouldn't try and push forward, because a lot of the enemy team is still alive or will recoup. There you go, out of position. What he should have done was back down to his teammates. He should have gone back to the rest of his team, and he should have said, hey, you know what, we need to group together, we need to push a Moody Mask that will spawn. It's gonna spawn soon. We can win this game on 1 Moody Mask. He should not be fighting this engagement. It is a bad idea. Sure, maybe he's gonna pick up 1 kill, and yeah, that's useful in that situation, and yeah, she goes down, and yeah, he's got Spellslinger to help him, but he's not pushing any objective, and the longer you extend the fact that you haven't won, the longer is the chance that you're not going to lose. I reckon he's going to go down here. He's probably going to take the warrior with him, and if he takes the warrior with him, then the spellslinger would probably shred him. But the warrior leaps away. Good, that warrior is good, you know? There you go, capture the Moonimas. But he should have been with his team, regardless of whether they won or not. Anyway, I haven't got much more to say. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you found it enlightening. I wish I had more time to talk about it, but I have some other footage, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, guys.